Hey everyone, Duke here, and this is going to be a walkthrough of the new exotic mission that just came out today. I will say that this is the first time I ran this mission, completely blind, had really no idea what I was doing, so we'll try to edit out some of the parts that are just kind of a waste of time in terms of me like running around and not really knowing where to go, and try to keep it so that you still can see from point A to point Z throughout the entire mission. Again, cutting out some of the fluff and parts that aren't really needed. I will also come in and kind of describe what I'm doing in a few of the more mechanical areas. The parts where I'm just kind of exploring, you can just kind of follow along with the video. I will have timestamps in the description for kind of each of the parts, and if you just want to kind of skip ahead to some of the more mechanical areas, that's totally fine, and that's what the timestamps are going to be there for. So I hope you enjoy. So this is the first area where we have some actual mechanics happening. Basically what you're going to need to do is you're going to have this conflux, and there's going to be rotating symbols around it. There's going to be a square, there's going to be a diamond, and there's going to be a triangle. And in different parts of this kind of area, you're going to see on the outskirts that there are these same symbols. As you can see, I just kind of shoot a random one there as I'm trying to figure out which symbols are which, or what the heck I'm trying to do right now. But once you find the set of symbols, it'll kind of give you a order that you need to shoot it in. It's going to be very similar to one of the campaign missions, actually, with the glowing harpies, and they're in different areas. So in this example, we have diamond, square, square. So I shoot the diamond first. As you can see kind of on the left side of the screen there's the two more squares. So now I need to shoot the square next, and then another square will spawn in a second. All the other ads that are spawning are pretty much seemingly just infinite spawns. So, you know, you can't really just keep them down and do this without being shot at all. But couple mods that are very, very important. Volatile flow is going to make this extremely, extremely useful and extremely, extremely much easier than it would be otherwise. I just pretty much am just spawn killing most of these ads with the ability to have volatile flow on my void weapons. Also note, bricks from beyond will be extremely, extremely strong here to get more heavy and just be able to basically, it will allow you to use your heavy weapon as a primary, as I do in a lot of this mission. I end up running my LMG just slaying out pretty much everything. Again, I have funnel web as well. This is a double void, really make use of the volatile flow. But this whole area, basically throughout the entire thing, is going to be exactly the same. You just got to kind of find the area that has the set of symbols and then start shooting them in the correct order. Do note that if you shoot them in the wrong order, it will change the set of symbols that you need to shoot. So if you mess it up at all, make sure you go back and check it again. But if you don't mess it up, then you just keep shooting the right ones, and it'll eventually give you the correct access code, and you just need to do that 3 times. And in the next area, it's pretty much a copy-paste of the same idea. You can kind of watch that through, and you'll see where each of these sets of symbols actually end up appearing.
but quite persistent.
Next we have our first boss slash just kind of like mechanics encounter, because the boss isn't actually here the whole time, but basically there's a couple different things we're going to need to do in this encounter. First, we just got to kill a lot of Vex. So again, void weapons with volatile flow, very, very useful. There's going to be multiple different times that we need to gather data and take shelter. Basically what that's going to mean is we're going to need to pick up a certain amount of motes. The fanatic-looking goblins are going to be the enemies that drop motes. The one thing that's a little unfortunate is it doesn't really show you the amount of motes that you have on the left side of your screen if you have as many buffs as I do, at least. It kind of like goes in and out, but what I was just basically trying to do is just make sure I collected as many as I could till about maybe like 10 to 15 seconds on the timer, just to really make sure I had enough. You only need whatever it tells you. It goes from 8 to all the way up to 12 later on. And then once you have enough, you can just go ahead and dunk them in this conflux in the middle, and that will open up the middle area, which will protect you when the timer hits 0. I would recommend, a very big recommendation, is to not just go down there immediately when you open up the door unless the timer's already very low, because then you're kind of a sitting duck. Once it hits 0, it will protect you from above. There will be like a little kind of Vex gate, as you can see there, that kind of comes in and protects you from anything that's above you. But best case scenario, you just kind of kill everything before you even drop down, especially the wyverns that spawn in kind of near the last few seconds. Otherwise, they are just shooting down at you, and you really don't have any good cover down there until that timer hits 0. So again, recommendation is to not actually go down into the hole until your timer is very low. You can open it up early, but just kind of kill stuff, wait until the timer gets low, and then go ahead and get down. You're going to do this multiple times. Again, now we've got to pick up 10 motes and do the exact same thing. And eventually, the boss is going to spawn in, and basically we just got to do damage to the boss, get him down to about half HP, and once he gets to half HP, it's going to basically rinse repeat. We're going to have to pick up motes again, get into the little shelter, etc., etc. I do use my super as kind of just like an extra tankiness here, so this was like a kind of unfortunate situation where I knew the timer was too low and I got a little bit hurt, so I popped my super for extra tankiness, so don't be afraid to do that. I would recommend, personally, honestly, probably a Void subclass. I feel like Void is really strong. I've been really enjoying Strand Titan. I think it's just fun to play, but I don't think it's necessarily the best option for this mission. But Void subclass with stuff like Devour and Overshields and invisibility, all that type of stuff you're going to be able to use. We do have a Void specific build and just kind of walkthrough on Warlock that I uploaded to the channel earlier, and I can post that in the description as well, so you can kind of keep an eye out for that. But again, this is where the boss is spawning in. A lot of harpies, a lot of ads, but again, if you're running Volatile, if you're running some Void weapons, you can really keep the ads down pretty easily. I would also recommend Void Siphon, so you can make a lot of orbs with Void weapons, of course. If you're running both Void weapons, very easy to make orbs when you're just getting multi-kills. And then you're also going to want recuperation, so that every time you're picking up one of these orbs, you're going to get health back. So again, if you're running Devour and stuff like that, it's not as important, it's just an extra benefit. But if you're not running Devour, if you're not running a Void subclass, if you're not really running a way to heal like I am here with Strand, definitely going to be very beneficial. You'll want recuperation to be able to get that health back consistently. We'll just kind of let the rest of the boss fight play through. There's really nothing else to talk about, so you can kind of enjoy, or if you don't really need to watch everything, you can skip ahead to the next section.
complex mind lurks ahead. A terrible destroyer created to purge the system. The signal hides itself away in the network, but you must prepare to fight.
And finally, we have the final boss, Brachion. He is back, just dropping down into this area and kind of getting that Pyramidian feeling. It was like, are we going to actually fight him again? Yes, we are. It's pretty sweet. I definitely like kind of these throwback type situations. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, reuse content, whatever else. I feel like this is not reused. Like, this is just a really nice kind of way to throw back to Brachion, throw back to the Pyramidian, throw back to Asher Mir, like, and kind of actually have story with it, because with Asher seemingly coming back at some point here soon, it seems like, with everything that's going on. But for this mission itself, basically the beginning, super simple. We're just going to do damage to the boss, keep ads down until we get him down to the first third. His first third is really, there's really nothing happening. Just shoot the boss, keep the ads down, stay alive, no big deal. You can skip ahead a bit to the next section unless you want to just watch kind of what's going on. So once we push him to the first third bar of HP, we're going to get teleported into another room, another dimension here, and this is going to kind of have the mechanics from before. So you have a Hydra in the middle, you want to kill that. Bunch of ads, you'll want to try to keep those dead as well, keep yourself alive. Brachion will be in the back of the room, kind of just sniping at you. So at least, but positive is he can't move, so he'll be stuck up there, but will be sniping at you, so keep that in mind. There will also be a couple wyverns that you're probably going to want to take down. And it does take me a little bit of time here to figure out the mechanic and figure out where the symbols I need to shoot. I basically figure out the mechanic right away, because again, we have this conflux in the middle with the square, triangle, and diamond symbols. So I'm like, okay, yeah, we definitely need to find where the symbols are at. So we will go ahead and skip a little bit of this. And basically where the symbols are going to be are on the right side of the map and the left side of the map from when you first come in, kind of below where a little Vex checkerboarded gate is. And again, same mechanic as earlier, shoot the symbols in the correct order. And once you've done that, the boss will be damageable. You get him to about half of this bar, and then do the left side one as well, and get him to the rest of the this third of his health bar. So once you push the boss to the final third, you're going to go to the final room. Again, not really any mechanics in this room, kind of like the first room. There's just going to be fanatics, there's going to be minotaurs, there's going to be some other ads. There's not a ton of cover. The boss also goes into super snipey phase, kind of like if you remember the original Pyramidion, where he chases you around super fast and sniped really, really fast in that last little bit of his health bar. So keep that in mind. I definitely play this pretty safely and pretty slowly in terms of trying to just maneuver around the room. Again, there is a little bit of cover, you know, there's little tiny pillars here and there, you can kind of use that as cover. Definitely, again, Void Siphon's going to be helpful for creating some orbs and with recuperation to allow you to get that health back. Again, if you just run a Void subclass with like Devour or Invisibility or something, you're probably going to be in a lot better shape than I was for this area. But long story short, just kill the boss as you can, stay alive, and once the boss is defeated, you have completed the mission.